All right. Good morning, Bob. How are you going?
Yeah, very good, thank you.
Well, thanks for coming in today. It's nice to, put a face to the name, meet you in person.
Yeah.
So, Bob, the reason I brought you in today is so we can do a briefing and have a chat about the training that we're going to be doing with you over the next few months. Why we've chosen certain activities, where your training is going to be taking place, how we'll assess you, as well as a few responsibilities and engagement commitments that we're going to need from you. Is it okay if we talk about those things today?
Yeah, sure, no worries.
Alrighty. Excellent. Well, firstly, congratulations on being promoted to team leader of the maintenance and gardens team.
Thank you.
I see you've got a copy of the position description with you. Have you had a chance to read it at all yet?
Yeah, I've had a bit of a flick through it. I was thinking it was going to be pretty easy, but some of the computer skills had me a little bit worried.
A bit worried, yeah. I remember that you mentioned that computers was an area that you said you weren't feeling too confident in. Well, don't worry, we're here to help you. So I've planned our training together to go for the next 6 months, so from the 19th of October to the 28th of April. So my main objective is to provide you with upskilling over the next 6 months to make sure that you have the required, skills and knowledge to be able to do your new team leader job. So from looking at the position description, we can see that, there's kind of 5 areas where we'll be doing our upskilling. So we'll need you to be able to prepare and manage rosters, coordinate mandatory training for staff, acting as a first point of contact for staff, putting together some reports as well as reporting back to me, your support staff manager. So we can already see a lot of those skills are very sort of, computer orientated.
Yeah, I'm really worried about that. I hardly know how to turn on a computer.
Yeah, well, I've organised some training that focuses a lot on use of computers and different programs that you'll be using to help you get up to speed. So, for example, every Monday afternoon, starting from next week, I've organised a one-on-one session with the IT support worker. In the hospital library. So the IT support worker, they're going to start from the very basics, how to turn on a computer, check your emails, all that stuff to begin with. But, by the end of the 6 months, you'll be collating reports and feeling a lot more comfortable using technology.
Yeah, that sounds great. I really don't think I could do this team leader role unless I know how to use the computer, at least get beyond switching it on.
Yeah, for sure. So the sessions will be from 4 p.m. till 5 p.m. on a Monday afternoon. Now, another key area of your new role is being a first point of contact for staff and organising meetings. How do you feel about that sort of thing?
Yeah, I find talking to people pretty easy, although I've never had to organise any big official meetings. I'm sure that I should go all right with that.
Yeah, no, that's good. Because, I can see, oral communication is one of your strengths. So for the next couple of, Friday afternoons, I've organised with the manager, Mary Stein, for you to sit in on some of the meetings that she runs. So, you can get a bit of a feel for how meetings are run, the role of different people in the meetings. I'll also draw up a template for you based on the country hospital's policy on running meetings. So you can see how a meeting's conducted, so you can get a bit more idea of the structure.
Yeah, that sounds good. I can only take so many new things on at one time, so to pace it would be good.
For sure. So for the first few weeks of your training, the main focus is going to be on that beginner IT training and on being an observer at the meetings. As the training goes on, we'll incorporate the other areas you need to be upskilled, such as, enrolling people in mandatory training, putting reports together. But we're going to focus really sort of on the basics first, so you don't get overwhelmed by, getting everything all at once. So I've created a bit of a timetable for you. So this is sort of the next 4 weeks of your training. So I've included the times and locations of your training, as well as the sorts of topics we're going to be addressing. I've also got my contact details at the bottom, just in case something happens and you can't come to a session. Also on the timetable are our weekly meetings. So that's it's just so I can check in to see how you're progressing, if you're having any problems, so we can modify if we need. Those will just be sort of like quick 15-minute meetings, just to check everything's going all right. Now, this other handout is, which one is it? Is an overview of the next 6 months. which is basically
okay.
all the training that we'll be doing. So, after talking to you on the phone, I've tried to incorporate as many hands-on activities as I could, and not so much, reading and writing and things like that.
Yeah, that's a relief. Whilst it's great having your own reading and writing, I find pretty tiresome and a little bit stressful.
Yeah, for sure. So, for example, you can see further down here, so when we do start doing more of like the report writing and stuff, we're going to do a bit of training with you on a program, a speech recognition program. Yeah, it's called Speak Type. So basically it means that you can talk aloud and the program will do the typing for you. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yep. So, perfect. So, we can definitely get into that. So, as the training goes on, we're going to be having regular meetings. So, to begin with, they're going to be weekly. But after the first 4 weeks, if things are going well, we can move it out to every 2 weeks, just depending on how you're going. So, that'll be one of your sort of key areas of support if you think you're needing some help. So as well as me, being your support worker, your manager, Mary Stein, is also going to be checking on your progress. So that'll be every 2 months. So when it's getting close to that time, she'll send you an email with some details to organise to meet up with you, just to talk with how your training's going and things like that.
Yeah, it's good to know I have so many people supporting me
For sure.
through this promotion. It's very good.
So as far as resources go, so I've already organised with the library for you to have access to the computer room each Monday afternoon for your training. So as the training goes on, I'm going to give you, some templates and summaries of guidelines and things to make sure that we're working within the hospital policy. So when you're coming to your training, you're not going to need to bring any, special equipment. So from a work health and safety point of view, just make sure that you come, in your approved uniform, that you bring your PPE and things like that. So none of the training we're doing is going to involve anything dangerous or physically strenuous. Our biggest probably WHS concerns will just be, very unlikely, but, electric shocks from a faulty computer, tripping on cords, eye strain from looking at the computers. But on the first day of your training, we're going to do a bit of a walkthrough. So when we're in the library, orientate you to, where the facilities, the fire exit and things are. And whilst we're doing that, we'll also do just a bit of a safety walk to make sure that the computers are all working properly and there's no hazards and things.
That should be good.
Yep.
Yes, that's similar to what we do in the maintenance. We do lots of safety walkthroughs, toolbox talks, and check our equipment before we start the day's activities.
Yep, perfect. So I've also got this for you here. So this is just a list of the assessments that over the course of the 6 months we'll be getting you to complete. So the assessments are based on your position description. Now, whilst it will be possible, if you are struggling in an area, we can, perhaps modify the date when the assessment's due. But if that's the case, we will just have to liaise with Mary Stein, the manager. So we'll just briefly go through the assessments. So the first one is about creating a roster and emailing it to a manager. So that component is a computer-based assessment. And after that, there's also just an informal knowledge quiz, which is basically just a bit of a verbal interview with me afterwards. The second assessment is about conducting a meeting. So this is a 3-part assessment. The first part involves, filling out a blank meeting agenda, as well as writing observations on a short meeting. The second part is about scenarios and role-playing conflict resolution. So, some conflicts that might happen whilst you're at work and the sort of things you would do to help resolve the conflict or sort of escalate up if you needed to. And the third part is an online section, which is about, I'll give you a makeup incident and of something that could possibly happen at work. And basically you have to write up a report for it and email it to me. So the third assessment is conducted on the computer, so using screen mirroring, which is basically you're using the computer and I can remotely see your screen. So that's going to be involving, I give you 5 kind of mock workers who you need to enrol into some mandatory education. So I'll just, be able to see if you're able to put the workers in the right training and all those sorts of things. And the final assessment will involve you, physically organising, conducting a team meeting. So then taking information out of the meeting, putting it into a formal report, which you'll then email to me. Okay?
Yeah, no, wow, that seems a lot. I'm sure if we're able to do all these things...
yeah, it does seem like a lot, but,
seem a lot.
yeah, it's over the 6 months, so I think, you'll get there, and we're here to help you, yeah, and we'll have you up to speed in no time.
Yeah.
So that brings me to my final point. So, yeah, as you can see from the briefing summary, there are also some requirements of you that we need you to uphold as a part of our training agreement. So I've mentioned a few of them already, but I'll just quickly go over some of them again. So basically the requirements that we have for you is that you need to come to all your training sessions on time, wearing, your approved uniform and your PPE. If there are any, unexpected absences, I know you're the fire worker, so it is possible, that something could come up. Then just making sure that you contact me in a timely fashion, letting me know so that I can organise a makeup session. So you need to make sure that you come to our weekly review meetings. And then if you are having any problems with the training or think that you're struggling, that you speak up and let me know about it so that, I can provide some additional help. If you feel like you need an extension on any of your assessments, then you just need to communicate to me, and I'll contact Mary Stein for approval if we can. And at training, you just have to conduct yourself professionally and respectfully as per the Country Hospital's Code of Conduct. Do you have any questions about that or anything that you wanted to ask in regards to the training?
Yes, so I assume that all training will be done on site? There'll be no
that's
external...
Right. Yep, all done on site. So, for instance, the IT's taking place in the library and the meetings will be in the general meeting room. Yeah.
No, I can't think of anything else.
That's all
I'm looking forward to starting and...
Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. No worries. What we'll do, if you're happy with all of that, we'll both sign the training agreement, and then, I'll see you on Monday afternoon for your first session.
Looking forward to it. Thank you
Awesome.
very much.
Thanks very much.